A few blocks north of the metro station Turro in northeastern Milan, one suddenly glimpses the Naviglio della Martesana, which passes underneath Viale Monza. It's the other Naviglio, the smaller one most tourists have never heard of and are very unlikely to stumble onto. The two famous Navigli, Naviglio Grande and Naviglio Pavese, are far more centrally located in the southwest of the city. The Martesana stems from the Ada River, which flows out of Lake Como at Lecco. All told, it's a bit under 40 kilometers long and dates back to the 15th century. Unlike the much older and more famous Navigli, the Martesana has a decidedly bucolic air. On the late summer Sunday afternoon when I went for a walk, there were people out for a leisurely stroll and lots of cyclists on the paved lane on the Naviglio's south bank. There is a sprinkling of restaurants along the Martesana, notably Tipografia Alimentare, just south of this little bridge called Ponte Vecchio, leading to the neighborhood of Gorla, but it is proud of not being a hotspot like the other Navigli. The atmosphere is even quieter to the west of Viale Monza. In the shallow waters, I detected some fish drifting with the current. A few are visible here, if barely. See how many you can detect. More than one correct answer. Quite a contrast to the Naviglio Grande the next evening, here by the Pont de Fer, on a relatively slow Monday night. I was headed for a place on the quieter end of the Naviglio, the recently opened Officina del Riso. As its name, the Rice Workshop, indicates, it specializes in creative takes on traditional rice classics, by no means just risotto, from various cuisines. Having been out of Milan all day, I got back to town late, and now it was around 9:15, although I was far from being the last diner to arrive. A glass of Franciacorta helped me recover some energy while I sorted out my orders. I decided to start with one of the large selection of gunkan, room-temperature rice concoctions wrapped in everything but sheets of nori. I'm sure my Japanese friends would be horrified. My order was wrapped in 2 thin slices of cooked beetroot and enclosed deep-fried wild rucola and pecorino cream on top of the actual rice. The other starter, called Incanto Patronus, was selected from the Rice Lab section. A visible variation on the classic Sicilian arancino, the 2 fried spheres of rice had a filling of porcini, venison ragu, and scamorza, plus a little dipping portion of nduja-flavored mayonnaise. Both truly delicious, even if purists from either Japan or Sicily might consider these variations sacrilegious. The waiter recommended a falangina to continue with, a Benevento falangina a minta from Antica Irpinia in Taurasi in the Campania province of Avellino. Risotto here was my main dish. The standard antipasto primo secondo sequence didn't really apply. My risotto was a fior d'acciuga with zucchini blossoms, stracciatella, and anchovies. The cool creaminess of the stracciatella played very nicely off the saltiness of the anchovies. The zucchini blossoms don't appear especially photogenic here, but the crispness of the fried flowers was a good contrast to the wavy texture of the rice. While I saw that rice flour was used in some of the desserts, such as in their brownies, I finished up with one of the few items on the menu containing no rice whatsoever, a mascarponata, mascarpone cream, and a coulis of red berries, with some biscuits crumbled at the bottom of the fruit preserves jar it was served in. My day had had a very early start. After my mellow dinner at Officina del Riso, I was ready for a relaxing walk along the Naviglio Grande and looked forward to a sleep in the next morning.